G'day, how you going? It's now week 7 of the term, and we're heading into the final stretch of the last 5 weeks. What I'm wanting to do today is just to explain to you some of the elements of the proposal that I've had a couple of queries from students. I think it's really important that you pick a question that you can be interested in, and that you can look up appropriate literature on. There is no literature in terms of the number of references you require. You need to read widely, and you need to have a look at the silences in the literature and what it's saying. So you need to be really on the ball with things like keyword searches and how to combine keyword searches so that you can get the right sort of literature. Some of the things that I've been noticing that the questions been coming through, which are around the nature of when you're looking at a research question, you take it apart. You actually take it apart and you look at what it's actually asking you. So, for example, if it's about the 12-hour shift in job satisfaction, some people are actually just focusing on the 12-hour shift without going into the notion of job satisfaction. There's a link between 12-hour shift and job satisfaction, and you need to find literature on that. I also think it's important that you read for understanding and read for content. So when you are reading the literature, you're not just looking at the content of the discussion. You're looking also at how they went about the research, what they did, what sorts of participants they found, the number of participants they found, the nature of how they did their analysis, because they're all clues for you for when you're writing your proposal. So if you find that a piece of literature has said something about a piece of research that was done in a similar area to you, and you like the way that they have put forward the participant selection, the research design itself, the data collection methods and the way that they've analysed it, I think it's really important that you take on board how you might be able to transpose that into the proposal that you're doing. I'm not saying that you actually take word for word verbatim what has been taken from another piece of literature, but it helps you frame it, and you need to use your textbook and you need to read widely. The other thing that I think that people need to think about is the nature of the sample. What is the sample size? So if you're not in nursing and you're doing this course, you wouldn't be sampling nurses, but you might sample health professionals, or you might sample a cross-disciplinary group of people who may be working in a large metropolitan healthcare centre, or in another type of environment, another industry, as an example, where they're looking at 12-hour service, 12-hour shifts, and the nature of how it affects people, job satisfaction, health-wise, etc., etc., etc. If you'd have watched Trudy's stream, she talked about the police force having contacted her because they were interested in the 12-hour shift. So you could be a health professional sitting in any industry where this is actually being introduced or has been introduced, and they're looking at areas of issue around 12-hour shifts and people's health or continuity of care or so forth and so on. So your participant selection is quite important, how you choose people and what you do. So read your text around that. I'd like you to go back and reread your research question information in your textbook. I think it's really important how a research question can inform the way that you take your research forward. So it's important to revisit that one and to understand what a research question does. I had a call the other day from someone who had generated up a set of questions, and what you need to understand is the difference between a research question and your data collection instrument questions. They're different. And your research question frames the overall research process, whereas the data collection instruments help to expose and unpack the nature of that research question being asked. So be mindful of understanding the difference between the data collection methods and the overall research question that helps frame the progress or the process with which you're going to undertake this research. Don't forget that the methodology or the methods that you pick for this is not just about the collection of different types of data collection methods. The methodology is around, you look at the question and you say, yeah, maybe the best way to look at that might be a case study. So you get an example of it. Someone the other day was looking at trying a couple of things in an environment, and when you do that sort of trying process, that's about action research. So read up on those types of techniques, the methods that are used for it, that would be best to undertake to answer the research question. I think that you'll find in putting it together that you'll understand it a little better. But reading is the key to this process, and then succinct writing. So I'm not looking for a lot of padding around this proposal. I want succinct writing. I'm expecting succinct writing. And people need to understand that looking at the literature and exposing the literature is a primary area of importance in terms of undertaking a research proposal. There's enough time left. Don't leave it till the last. And I would urge you to, if you're having any degree of difficulty with it at all, even after you've done the reading, after you've searched around and done things, then I would urge you to make contact with me. The best way is through email. I'm pretty responsive to that. And I'd also like to encourage you to do some student feedback, the midterm feedback again. I would urge you sincerely to give me some feedback on how the course is going for you, and be quite open about what you want to say. The only way to fix the process is to actually is to hear from you. If I don't hear from you, I don't know what I can do to support and assist you. So that's the second part of my podcast to you. Between this week and next week, I'll talk with you again. I'll do another podcast next week. We might start going through some of the content again, and assessing and checking the content to support you for week 10's preparation of your multiple choice questions. They'll be a little bit more difficult, the multiple choice questions in week 10, so I urge you to read up strongly in the areas that I've given you, and any issues, just email me, let me know.